Alright guys, there's been a few bits of news coming out in this past week in relation to WWE 2K15, starting out with Justin Gabriel, who posted a photo to his Instagram account of himself getting his head scanned and noting that was for a new WWE game. So based on this, it looks like 2K are getting all the current roster in to complete full head scans, which they can then use to create the in-game models, which should mean we'll see much greater and high quality textures on the new models, especially when it comes to next gen, similar to some of the models that were seen in NBA 2K14 this year. Staying on the subject of the roster, Mick Foley was in North Carolina doing interviews last week, and he revealed that he was considering not renewing his Legends contract, something which he later confirmed on Facebook, writing, "As some of you may have heard, at this point I am opting not to sign my Legends marketing deal, as I've been very disappointed with the payoffs on the past two video games. For many years, being included in the WWE video game felt like Charlie finding the golden ticket, but unfortunately that is just not the case anymore. I've simply grown tired of being continually disappointed, and in the future will do my best to avoid situations where further disappointment is the likely outcome." So following this news, if Foley doesn't sign a new deal, it'll mean that he won't be able to be included in future games, but I've read that some people have been saying that this confirms he won't be in 2K15, and that's not actually the case. As things stand at the moment, Foley is under a Legends contract, so if Foley was planned for the 2K15 roster, then that deal will already be in place. However, for the likes of 2K16 and so on, Foley's current deal would have expired, and that would require him to sign a new deal to be included. To go back a few years, RED was featured in a WWE game while he was in TNA Wrestling, and that was because his deal, like Foley's, was in place while the game was being developed, so even though the deal had expired when the game was actually released, he was still included, and that appears to be the same for Foley in regards to 2K15. As for Foley's reasons, it all comes down to money, which was probably affected due to THQ's bankruptcy, as I can tell you that WWE did not receive any money at all from THQ for the sales of WWE 13, as Paul Heyman recently confirmed that on the Steve Austin podcast. The other interesting note from this is knowing that some or maybe all the Legends deals include the right to feature superstars in the video game series, meaning people inducted into the Hall of Fame have a good chance of being included, and Legends featured in a new game are likely to be candidates for the Hall of Fame the following year if they've not already been inducted. So based on that, from this year's Hall of Fame we're seeing Warrior, Jake the Snake, Lita, Paul Bearer and Razor Ramon all featured in 2K14, so it'll be interesting to see which Legends are included in 2K15, as they'll have a good chance of being in next year's Hall of Fame. And that is all the news for now, but stay tuned as I'm sure it won't be long before we get more news, as IGN are listing the game for E3, even though it's not been confirmed, which would actually be the first time that we've seen the game featured at E3 for a couple of years. So let me know what you think of this news in the comments. Until next time, I'll catch you later.